Morning everybody, this is Pastor Bonnie and I'm going to be doing some mixed media paintings. So I wanted to show you, I'm going to actually incorporate some dried flowers into it. And these are the flowers before they're dried, and here they are after. I've got some beautiful ones. And so what I'm planning to show you, you can actually dry these in the microwave. And it's simple. You can see my materials are these flowers I just picked on a walk today. And I had some old, this was actually a sermon I did Sunday, so I printed up my notes and I'm going to use them for something beautiful. So you just take a piece of regular paper, fold it so that the white part is inside, and then I'm going to do some lilacs, and I love the lilacs. So you kind of want to push it down, and then here's the leaf, and then I'll probably put another leaf on there, and then I'm just going to fold it over, and then you put the paper towel. I have the paper towel folded in half, see, so it's on the bottom too, and then we're just going to walk over, put it in the microwave, and then I have, this is a piece of, you can use a tile. This happens to be a garden stone that I made, where I just use a piece of clay and I glazed one side of it. But a tile would work really well too. And so what you want to do, and this is actually hot because I've been using it, so you want to take the glazed side down, and then we're just going to put it on top of the paper and the paper towel, and it's in the microwave. And then we're just going to put our microwave for 1 minute. And then, actually it takes a minute and a half. So I'm going to stop it and do it for a minute and a half, and then we'll do the reveal. We're ready to do our reveal and see what these flowers came out like. So we're just going to open it up. And you can see how beautiful? You can see all the details in the flowers. And then there's the leaves. And I can't wait. I'll show you guys. I'm going to actually paint these and incorporate them into my design. So stay tuned, and I will show you the rest of the painting as we work on it. And it's going to be a lot of fun doing this together. Some more designs that we're going to incorporate into our mixed media painting. So I have here, this is a dowel that I have with really pretty dragonflies on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some black acrylic paint. I'm just going to water it down and run it across it, and then I'll roll it out and show you what it looks like. Here's our dowel, and I use these on my pottery. So what I'm going to do, I put the paint on it, and then we're just going to roll it across. And you can see it's given me a really pretty pattern that I'm going to cut out and incorporate into the mixed media painting. So I'll show you the rest of it in a little bit. I'm back, and I'll show you the materials that we're going to be using. I'll turn it this way so you can see. So I have a stretched canvas. This is a 11 by 14. And then this is the paper that we were using earlier for the, you can see how pretty the patterns are in it. You can use anything. You can use sponges, you can use modeling clay tools to get a pretty pattern. You can buy really pretty scrapbook paper to use. These are the colors. It's going to be a really easy project, and I love, these are my favorite colors. So I've got pink and teal and purple, and then dark purple, and then I'm going to be using gesso. This is going to be watered down, and then this is a matte medium, and you use that just to make the paints flow a little bit easier. And then this brush that we're going to be using, and there will be more colors, but what I'm doing is making the video in just short little pieces so I can wait for it to dry and show you the next part of it. So, and I always have my beautiful worship music going in the background. When you paint, it's an act of worship, and when you use your talents and your abilities to glorify the Lord, it pleases Him. So it just puts me in such a happy, beautiful, peaceful place, and I wanted to share that with you. So I will show you the next part in a few minutes. For the next part, we're going to take a little bit of our gesso, just put it down in here, And then I'm going to just take a little bit of water and kind of make a paste with it. I'll kind of make it really thin. The gesso will be used for all different kinds of things, but it brings texture and dimension to your work. So we're just going to make it so I can use the paintbrush with it. And then now what I'm going to do is just take the paper and tear it into pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you next. For our paper, it's just randomly rough edges. I want texture, so I want all different sizes. Some of them I've crinkled. And then what we're going to do is just dip it in the gesso. Just randomly put it any place that you want it. Kind of rub it in. And then we're just going to keep adding all of our pieces. There's no specific order to it. I'll lift it up a little bit higher so you can see. And you can overlap the pieces. You can use tissue paper that you've used rubber stamps with. You can use your pretty scrapbooking paper. And I know for myself, I have books and books and books of scrapbooking paper. And I used to really enjoy doing photography and books with it. And I find lately I don't have a lot of time to do that. And especially now with the digital world, I put all I make albums with digital pictures. So I still have all this paper that I can use for pretty projects like this. So what I'm going to do is just cover the surface. And it's just so peaceful to listen to the beautiful worship music and do something that's enjoyable and simple. You can do this with your kids and your friends, and you can do it in your own peaceful alone time. And what I love about this technique that I'm going to be showing you, you don't have to have any artistic ability. I'm actually not even going to use a paintbrush except for the big one to spread the gesso on here. But I'm literally just cutting up pieces of paper and sticking them onto the page. Just enjoying my music and getting into my peaceful, happy place. Sometimes we just need to get away from bills and worries and cares and do something that brings us joy. So I just encourage you, take time to do things that you love to do. There are special gifts from God that you can do by yourself or with other people. So you can see this just looks pretty random. This is what it looks like. And then I'm just going to take my brush, pick up the rest that I didn't use. Just put a coat over on top of all the pieces. Because we want the edges to be nice and flat. It's kind of like how it used to be if you've ever worked with paper mache. It's kind of the same idea. You get the pieces saturated and they're laid flat. And we want the paper to bubble up and wrinkle. That's what we want because it will bring some texture to it. So we're just going to smooth it on. It's okay if it bleeds because we're going to paint over it and add all kinds of pretty colors to it. And then I'll just turn it this way so you guys can see it, but you can see. So now what I'm going to do is put that aside and let it dry, and then I'll show you what the next one's going to be. So what I did with this one was I just took the pink paint and you just take the bottle and randomly put some on here, and then you just take your fingers and just rub it all in different places where you want it. And I did the same with the blue, and then I'm just going to daub it a little bit with the sponge. And we're going to come back. I'm going to put some really bright colors in with this. So we're going to do like orange and purple and green, some really beautiful colors. But it doesn't look like very much right now, but you can see as you look a little closer, see all the texture that's in it. So we're just going to let it dry, and then we'll come back and we're going to add some beautiful bright colors in with it. And the trick, it's really important to let it dry between the coats, because if you don't, the paint will mix together and it's going to be all muddy. So this is going to be a beautiful design, and I'll show it to you in a little bit later. And we're just going to add some pretty orange, and I want to put some brighter colors. So we have some orange, and then we're going to just do some green. This is fluorescent green that we're using. Just kind of daubing it, because remember, we're not going to use a paintbrush, we're just going to use our fingers. So I'm kind of just daubing it in everywhere. And then this I was telling you about, this is the matte medium. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of put some around, because it makes it a little bit easier to spread. It kind of thins it out a little bit. So you can see. And then we're going to put some purple. And I'm going to be putting some lilacs on this side. So we're going to kind of put a little more on this side. I don't quite like that as thick as it is, so I'm just going to daub it a little bit with the sponge. And just kind of smooth it a little bit. And then I want some blue. And you can see how the colors kind of bleed together. It's going to be really cool when we get done. Now I want them to mix a little bit, the blue and the purple, because we're going to create a shadow, and I'll show you in a minute what I'm going to put over there. And then I'll show you, I'm gonna put these purple lilacs that we dried earlier. And you can see I'm gonna set them there, but so that's how come I wanted a little bit darker colors behind it. And now we're just gonna let it dry. So I added some more colors to it, and I'm just kind of going back now while the paint's wet, and I want it to be like a really muted effect. So I'm just going back now and just using my fingers to kind of blend. So I don't want it to have like stripes, but I love, see, I love it when you tap, it shows the colors underneath. That's what I'm going for. It's a really cool effect. I'm going to stand it over it so you can see it better. It's a little, the paint's a little bit tacky, so then it just kind of bleeds through, and that's exactly what I'm trying to get it to do. This part where I'm tapping, I'm going to try to put a butterfly. So you can kind of see the shape of the wings right here when I'm tapping. Alright, time to dry. And now I'm just adding a little more. We're going to put some little bits of this really pretty tissue paper with the flowers on it. And see, because the paint's wet, I can just tap it right in. And this is going to add some more dimension. And we want it to wrinkle, and we want the paint to show through. You can pick up some of the paint that's still wet and kind of just mix it in a little bit. What I'm going to do when I get done at the end, we're going to coat this whole painting with clear shellac, and that's why it's so much fun when you use different papers and stuff, because we're going to make sure that they'll stick and adhere and look pretty like you want them to. But see how that adds just some more dimension to it. I'm just going to let that sit. This is where we're going to start to add the other elements, and what I've taken is the dried flower that we did this morning. This is the lilac, and you can see I put glue all around the back, and then we're just going to position it right onto our canvas and push down on it. It's very fragile and dry, so that's why I put a lot of glue on it, but like I said, we're going to go over it anyway with shellac, and that will preserve it. But it just sits nicely. See, you guys, it just sits on there nice and flat. And now we're starting to really see some texture and dimension. See, just that way, so you can see. So you see how I took some water and I put it over the top of these to make like a little flower garden. And the tissue paper, just the paint shows through. But see how gorgeous that's starting to look? We're going to add some more, and it was just easier to put the glue on because it's going to dry clear anyway, and just spread it, because I'm I'm going to put some really fine ferns on here. So these are so delicate, it's much easier to just put them right in the glue and tap them down. You can see all my snacks, you guys. You see all my secrets. These are really delicate and fragile to work with at this stage until we get them adhered. And then we're just going to put some more glue. So you can see that we're going to put a couple more little pretty flowers. And you can see I added some more glue and some more of the flowers from this morning. So we're just getting ready to put another fern down here. Just a beautiful, pretty little fern. And then I'll go back. I'm going to have to put the camera down so I can do it with two hands. But you can see how nice it's coming. It's starting to look really pretty. I'm going to actually make the butterflies on tissue paper and I'll put them on top of everything. And I'll show you how I do that in just a few minutes. And see, you guys, you can see all the different leaves and the pretty flowers. And I put quite a bit of glue, so the glue is starting to dry. And then you can see the leaves. Going to be beautiful, and then we'll be working on the butterfly details next. you can see I've kind of gone all the way around the edge of the blue. And so now we're just going to kind of touch it up a little bit with just a little hint of green. Just along the bottom. And this one's a fluorescent color, so it's going to kind of show up a little bit. And I'm just going to do the same thing all the way around the edge. And just kind of smooth it. Add some texture and dimension. So then the next thing that I'm going to do is we're going to start putting on layers and layers, a couple layers of clear, clear shellac, and it will preserve this, but because the leaves are so fragile, I just want to make sure that they're not going to break off over time. So, and it will kind of cement everything together. This is really been joyful to work on, and it's so fun that you can go out in your garden and you might have some favorite shrubs and bushes from your grandmother or your mom that are keepsakes. And this is a beautiful way to dry the flowers in the microwave. It's a really simple, easy project. You can see this has not been hard. I haven't had to use a paintbrush at all. I'm just going to pull back and let you see it. And then the next thing we'll do is we're going to start putting the shellac. I like to use the Liquitex Professional. And we're just going to put a lot of it on. You can see I want to get it all on the leaves first. And then my plan is to put several coats of this and let it dry really well in between. And I want to make sure that I get it all on the flowers so this will preserve how delicate they look. And it will put a nice shine. But I'm going to finish doing this and then I will let you see the finished product in just a few minutes. So here is the big reveal. And you can see how beautiful it is. The shellac really brings out the colors. And I'll go a little bit closer. See all the beautiful detail? And it's like three-dimensional, and we have the hand-drawn butterfly, and we have these beautiful flowers that we microwave today, and they are nice and preserved. So I hope that you have enjoyed this. It's been a lot of fun sharing it with you. And this is a really super easy technique that you can enjoy for yourself. Take care and God bless.